Jennifer,
Yeah.
speaking of COVID,
Mhm.
um, the education revolution has been accelerated in the last 3 months, like never ever before. To most people who are in education, this will come as the perfect storm in introducing technology
Correct.
to the whole system.
Correct.
What are your views? What are your observations on the changes? Is it what we know as the future of education, what we are experiencing right now at home with our kids?
Okay, first of all, we are actually in Brunei generally, we are not as advanced in some of my colleagues in their universities where they're already doing blended learning, where they use two forms of teaching and learning, online and offline. What the COVID-19 did for us, actually did us a favor, is by pushing us very quickly into using the technology here. And we learn as we go along. There were challenges, there are still challenges. But what we are learning is also very exponential learning about what works for us on the teaching online and what doesn't work. What are some of the topics that you are better off face-to-face, and what are some of the topics it will be very good online. So we learn very quickly. One of the challenges is, of course, when we go online, we could not give online exam. And we were nearing the examination period. We have to convert all our assessment points into coursework. Yeah. So I had a lot of quizzes, a lot of time-based coursework on the internet where students log in and then they have to answer questions. But then the other challenge come up. How sure are you it is a student doing the work on the other hand?
Yeah.
So the technology for us hasn't caught up yet where we can monitor that. But to use it, we are using it already. So to answer your question, I think both our universities here are not going to go back to the way we used to do things.
Which is
the teaching, I believe, will be a mix of blended form of some online and some face-to-face. Yeah, and all of us are reviewing our course notes, what we can push online that is effective. So how cool it is if we have our lectures already on video. Before you come to class, you are asked to look at the lecture. When you're in class, it's just discussion. Right? Yeah, so that would be a good way to lecture, because you have done your homework. You don't have to listen to me talking in class because it's boring. You can listen to me on video at home. But when you're in class, let's talk technology.
So
let's talk knowledge.
Questions.
Let's talk about what you don't understand about it and do things, or maybe have a practical session and put it in practice.
So you're turning lecture into...
I believe it will be like this. I believe some modules would benefit from that sort of mixed blended mode. Some modules where it requires students to interact and work in group, online will be a bit more challenging again. But one of the things I found out, in Brunei, like I said, you have a lot of characters. But there are a lot of Bruneian students who are actually quite shy. You have to push them very hard to talk. You have to push them very hard to be like very open about things and not afraid to speak. Yes. They know their stuff, but they are shy. So what we found out is that we push them. Every lecturer would have a presentation component in the work where students have to go in front of the class and present as part of the way of learning, not to be afraid to present and to talk to the crowd. What we found out is that no matter how we try, and this is feedback from the industry,
yes,
that our students' presentation is not as strong, etc. So what do we do? One thing about this presentation, we make the students do presentation online, behind the screen, etc. The funny thing is that unanimous in my whole school, we found out that those really shy students were very confident online. We don't know what happened. We don't see their face. They're presenting it with their PowerPoint, etc. But they were speaking with conviction. They were speaking with confidence. It was great. So we say, that's a learning point for all of us. We don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. We're still learning. But yeah, somehow this interface turned out to be quite good for some of those students. I don't know.
And I've read somewhere about, introverts, when you're looking at a screen, you're not looking at anyone, so it's a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't get nervous and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. We've come to my final two questions. Number one is, this would take another 2 hours for you to go through. But I know that you're doing something extremely important and something extremely interesting. You're rewriting the curriculum to make sure that there's a new way of learning things for the students.
Correct.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I didn't get a chance to touch on that very important subject, which I personally am so interested in. That's why I thought of you in asking you, in inviting you on board to speak to our audience on the teaching career.
Yeah.
So, if you can spend just 1 or 2 minutes, speed us through on the incredible work that you're doing right now.
Yeah.
So that's
Actually, yeah.
And the second question is, I'd like you to share with our audience, who are graduating, who are going to face the most unprecedented, uncertain world. What encouragement can you give them as a wrap up? So these are the two things that I would like to conclude tonight with. So over to you, Jennifer.
Yeah, I'll answer the second question first. Don't be afraid to try, jump in, try to find something you are passionate about and pursue it. Okay, but don't be afraid to jump in and try, because you are really at the age we have nothing to lose. Most of you are not married yet and nothing to lose. Just try it, etc. That would be my encouragement to you. For the first question, that's actually my current passion, because one of the best times of my life is my university experience, learning new things, learning culture, learning people, etc. And actually learning the topics and learning the domain area and having fun with it. So my worry is that if our curriculum becomes so intensive heavy that the students are spending all the time learning the content, they don't learn the other things, and they don't have time for the other things that should enrich you as part of your university life. So we design our curriculum to ensure that we balance that. And we give measurements, we assess you on not just your academic performance, we assess you on your participation. We assess you on how you learn and what you bring, what value you bring into that group dynamics, etc. So right now I'm working on a curriculum, hopefully it's an innovative curriculum, in order to address that and in order not to allow a student not just to learn academic stuff, but to be able to be participatory, to be able to use what you learn in later lives and adapt it for whatever environment you are faced with. So that's the type of curriculum we are currently working on. Okay. I would talk with you about it for the next 3 days if you allow me to, but I won't. We are all getting sleepy and tired, so I won't go into that. But I'm actually leading a team right now in UTB to work on that curriculum development for a computer information system department, specifically on software development and data analytics, in order to give that sort of experience to our students.
I can't emphasize enough how lucky the UTB students are to have you, Jennifer.
I'm lucky to be there.
With such level of humility and empathy and care, such genuine care in wanting for the best. And this is, a spirit that I highly admire about you. Every time we interact, it leaves me thinking, if everyone can have that kind of passion and dedication for their work, Brunei will be unstoppable.
I thank you for that, but I think I learned from the best.